Stop scrolling and look at your life. Does it look exactly the same as it did 365 days ago? You set goals, you promised yourself you would change, you watched motivational videos, but today you woke up and ran the exact same loop you ran last year. Why? Most people think the answer is laziness. They look in the mirror and think, I am weak or I lack discipline. That is a lie. You are not lazy. You are infected. Your brain is running a biological program designed to keep you poor, safe, and static. It's called the script. While you're trying to use willpower, your own biology is fighting against you. In this video, we're not going to talk about motivation. We're going to deconstruct the source code of your behavior. I will show you the 3 specific glitches in your brain that delete your potential. But here's the catch. Most people try to fix level 1 without understanding level 2. That's why they fail. If you skip the second part of this video, you will stay in the loop forever. So listen closely, because this is the moment you start debugging your life. To understand why you're stuck, you first have to understand the machine you're operating. You think you are the pilot of your life, but you're not. You're a passenger. Your brain has one primary mission. It's not to make you successful. It's not to make you happy. It's to keep you alive. You have to understand the economics of your own biology. Your brain represents only about 2% of your body weight, but it consumes 20% of your daily energy. It's an expensive machine to run. For millions of years, survival meant 2 things: avoiding danger and conserving energy. In the ancient world, new meant risky, and different meant deadly. Burning unnecessary calories could mean starving before the next hunt. So, your brain evolved a powerful system to keep you exactly where you are. It's called homeostasis. Think of it as a biological thermostat. Its job is to maintain your life exactly as it is right now. If your temperature goes up, it sweats to bring it down. If your behavior changes, it creates friction to bring you back to baseline. This is why improving your life feels so physically hard. It's not just in your head, it's in your cells. When you try to work on your future, your body pushes back. You know the feeling. You sit down to do deep work and suddenly your chest tightens. Your mind gets foggy. Your thoughts start racing. Suddenly you feel an overwhelming wave of tiredness. Suddenly you remember an email you need to check. Suddenly you decide it would be better to start tomorrow. Here's the terrifying part. Every time you try to change your life, whether it's starting a business, hitting the gym, or quitting a bad habit, your brain treats it as a threat to your survival. To your primitive nervous system, quitting a comfortable routine feels just as dangerous as stepping off a cliff. This is not weakness, this is chemistry. Your amygdala floods your body with cortisol and adrenaline, not to help you fight, but to induce anxiety that drags you back to safety, back to what's known, back to the couch. You are not broken. You are running ancient code that screams, stay safe, every time you try to become more. Most people never realize this. They spend their lives hating themselves for not being disciplined, thinking they have a character flaw. In reality, they're just fighting their own biology with bare hands. But biology is only the hardware. If biology is the hardware, society is the software, and that software is corrupted. If your brain wants you to be safe, society wants you to be useful. But useful to whom? Not to yourself, useful to the machine. From the moment you were born, you were placed into a system designed to shape you. It's called the factory model of education. It was designed in the 19th century, not to create thinkers, but to create obedient workers for the Industrial Revolution. Look at the structure. Sit still in rows, follow rules, ask for permission to speak, memorize facts, do not question authority. This is not about making you powerful, it's about making you predictable. This system operates on a process of pruning. Like a gardener cutting off the wild branches of a tree, society cuts off your curiosity, your risk-taking, and your unique perspective, until you fit neatly into the box they prepared for you. If schools actually wanted you to succeed in the real world, they would teach you how money works. They would teach you how to sell, how to negotiate, how to manage your psychology, and how to take calculated risks. They don't. Ask yourself why. The system doesn't want creators. Creators are unpredictable. Creators disrupt the status quo. Creators cannot be controlled. The system wants consumers. It wants obedient workers who will trade their time for a paycheck and then spend that paycheck to numb themselves, fueling the economy. You were sold a script for what a good life is supposed to look like. study hard, get a safe job, buy a house you can barely afford, retire someday when you're too old to enjoy it, then finally, you can be free. That story sounds comforting, but it's a trap. It promises safety in exchange for your dreams. And the most dangerous part is that it feels comfortable. Comfort is the real prison. If your life was unbearable, you would fight to change it. If you were starving, you would hunt. But you're not starving. You're just okay. You're comfortable enough to keep sleeping. You have food delivered to your door. You have endless entertainment on a screen. You're slowly decaying inside a soft, padded cage. To keep you there, the script uses one of its most powerful tricks, the lie of tomorrow. I will start next week. I'll do it when I feel ready. I'll do it when I have more time. Tomorrow is a sedative. It's a drug that makes you feel better about wasting today by promising a better, stronger, more disciplined version of yourself that will exist in the future. But that version of you doesn't exist. Tomorrow never comes. There's only a never-ending chain of todays that all look the same. Now we must go deeper. Biology keeps you lazy. Society keeps you obedient, but there's a third layer that keeps you sabotaging yourself even when you start to succeed. It's the identity trap. You think you know who you are. You have a mental model of yourself. You tell yourself stories. I'm just not the type of person who succeeds. I'm bad with money. I'm not disciplined. I'm an introvert. But that identity wasn't chosen by you. It was trained into you. Your brain learned who you are through repetition. Every time you tried something and failed. Every time a teacher told you to be realistic. Every time a parent told you that people like us don't do things like that. Your mind updated its model. It built a cybernetic mechanism, a self-image that acts exactly like the thermostat in your home. This is why positive thinking fails. If your internal thermostat is set to financial struggle, you can make $1 million, but your brain will find a way to lose it. It will create an emergency, a bad investment, or a reckless decision to bring your bank account back down to the level that matches your identity. If your thermostat is set to procrastinator, you can have the best plan in the world, but your brain will generate anxiety and distraction until you ruin the schedule and prove yourself right. This is called cognitive dissonance. Your brain hates it when your actions don't match your beliefs. So every time you try to change your life, you are fighting against your own self-image. Your brain views your success as a glitch in reality. It will self-sabotage to restore order. It pulls you back to the version of you that it knows. This is why people are not afraid of failure. They are afraid of becoming someone unfamiliar. Your old identity is fighting a war against your future self. If biology, society, and identity are the walls of the prison, then this next layer is the chains. This is the one that makes everything else nearly impossible to escape. The pacifier in your pocket. Your phone. We are living in an experiment that has never been run on humans before. We have access to supernormal stimuli in our pockets 24 hours a day. The modern world is an attention economy. Billion-dollar companies have hired the smartest neuroscientists and behavioral psychologists in the world with one goal: to hack your dopamine receptors. Every notification, every swipe, every like, every short video is a tiny hit of dopamine. It's a digital reward. It mimics the sensation of achievement without the effort. It feels like you're hunting, gathering, and socializing, but you are lying in bed alone. This creates a physiological condition called anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure from normal activities. When your brain is flooded with cheap, high-intensity dopamine from TikTok or Instagram, real life begins to feel gray. Reading a book feels impossibly boring. Building a business feels too slow. Having a conversation feels like too much effort. You have desensitized your own reward system. Your phone is not a tool. It's a slot machine designed to keep you pulling the lever. When you scroll for hours, your brain thinks you're doing something useful. It feels like you're foraging for information, but you're not foraging. You are being fed. You are consuming the creations of others, while your own potential withers and dies. You are drowning in pleasure, yet you are starving for meaning. And this leads us to the final, most terrifying consequence of the script: the distortion of time. Have you noticed that time feels like it's accelerating? When you were a child, a summer felt like an eternity. Now, entire years vanish in a blink. This is not just a feeling. It's a mechanism of the brain. Your brain records time based on new memories.
When you are young, everything is new. The world is high definition. Your brain is writing new code every day. But when you get stuck in the loop, when you enter the routine of the script, your brain stops recording. It goes into autopilot mode. It stops writing new memories because it's seen this day before. Monday is the same as Tuesday. Tuesday is the same as Friday. Your commute is the same. Your scroll feed is the same. Your thoughts are the same. Your brain compresses all these identical days into one single memory file. This is why you wake up and 10 years have passed, but nothing has changed. You haven't lived 10 years, you've lived the same year 10 times. This is the ultimate cost of the script. It doesn't just steal your potential, it steals your life. It fast forwards you to your deathbed, where you will wake up and realize you were sleepwalking the entire time. So, how do you escape? You can't fight the script with motivation. Motivation is biological emotions, and biology is part of the trap. You can't fight it with willpower alone because willpower is a limited resource.
You have to change the game entirely. You must flip the switch from consumer to creator. The only way to override your brain's demand for comfort and homeostasis is to give it a mission that matters more than its fear. You need a purpose that overrides the safety protocols. And that mission begins with the one thing you are running from: boredom. You must stop fearing boredom and start using it as a weapon. When you turn off the phone, disconnect the internet, and sit in a quiet room, your brain will panic. It will scream for stimulation. It will beg for a hit of dopamine. You will feel anxious, restless, and agitated. This is the withdrawal. This is the friction. Most people run back to the feed at this moment. They surrender to the script. But if you stay in the silence, if you stare into the abyss of boredom long enough, something changes. The noise fades. The dopamine craving dies down. The script starts to glitch. And for the first time in years, you begin to think your own thoughts. You begin to imagine. You feel the urge to build something not because you have to, but because you need to express what is inside. This is deep work. This is the flow state. This is where real life happens. In this state, the neurochemistry of your brain changes. You are no longer running on the cheap dopamine of consumption. You are running on the slow burn fuel of creation. In this state, time does not vanish. It expands. 1 hour of deep creation feels longer and more meaningful than a month of scrolling. This is the way out. You stop consuming the world and you start creating your own. You stop being an NPC in someone else's story and you become the main character in yours. You have to rewrite your identity. You must prove to your brain through small actions that you are no longer the person who plays it safe. You are the person who walks toward the fear. Because when you walk toward fear, the brain updates its model. It realizes that the danger was an illusion. That is how courage is built, not through thinking, but through exposure. The script will try to pull you back. It is resilient. Even right now, as this video ends, the algorithm is lining up the next distraction, the next hit of dopamine, the next reason to wait until tomorrow. This is the test. 1 year from now, you will wake up again. You will be in the same room, looking at the same phone, thinking the same thoughts. Unless this is the moment you decide to break the loop. The door is open, the cage is unlocked, but only you can step through it. Game start.